would like to invite a prominent political leader who was eventually expelled from the Pakistani occupied Kashmir, and he was a human rights lawyer in Pakistani occupied Kashmir as well. Mr. Sardar Shaukat Ali Kashmiri, the chairman of United Kashmir People's National Party. Now the floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, I would like to thank you, the organizers, and special thanks, Mr. Jamil Maqsood. He is a renowned human rights defender, but now he is unable to travel around. Ladies and gentlemen, before me, the learned academicians, politicians, human rights defender, and especially the Senator Flams Belloc, he elaborated many important points. Actually, I was in travel. Yesterday, I came to Geneva and participate a big conference on Bangladesh genocide, which was by Pakistan Army. Ladies and gentlemen, it's known fact that all the peoples who lived under Muslim regimes, their basic fundamental rights has been compromised, whether it's Christian, Muslims, Hindus, or any person who belong any religion. But it is unfortunate the whole Muslim rulers, and especially the Pakistan, is propagating the things that there is a Islamophobia. Hundreds and thousands people lived in Europe. They belongs to the Islam, but they did not find any kind of discriminations against them on the basis of religion. Our children, our relatives, our elders, they lived in Europe peacefully and also enjoying equal rights. I did not found any kind of Islamophobia or on the basis of religion, any discrimination in the European countries. But it is the propaganda of Pakistan. And especially the Imran Khan, he used Islamophobia phrase in every forums. It is a false propaganda. I must denounce his finding. Here in Europe, there is no any kind of Islamophobia. But in Pakistan, the Christians, the Hindus, the Buddhists, and the other religious minorities, ethnic minorities have no rights. Even especially the peoples of Kashmir who lived under Pakistan has no democratic rights, have no freedom of opinions. So any country who suppress the right of the peoples and not honor of their faith, he has no right to use such kind of the phrases like Islamophobia. There is no Islamophobia. It is the Muslim rulers actually who suppress the rights of their own people, and women have no space. They are facing worst kind of discriminations. On the other hand, it is the Pakistan and some of the Muslim countries who used religion as tool. and terrorism as foreign policy. Like in Afghanistan, since 1973-71, it was Pakistan who formulated a strategy to put their own proxies in Afghanistan as a religious government. And there are many ups and downs because Pakistan has feared that the progressive nationalist Pashtuns or Baloch are the democratic, those people who believe democratic ideals and struggling for democracy in Pakistan, struggling against the discriminatory laws and draconian laws and all the old system. Ultimately, when the state suppressions put pressure on those activists, they crossed the border and took refuge in Afghanistan. So it is the Pakistan who have dual policies because the Durand line, the peoples, the Pashtun peoples who lived on the other side of Durand line. It was, you people know, it was a treaty. It was actually the captured areas, occupied areas by the British. And historically, it is part and parcel of the Afghanistan. Afghan nation was independent, but there are many wars in Cold War era or in early 18th or 19th century. So there was one treaty, and that treaty was expired in 1993. And Pakistan, since many years, actually try to appease many religiously motivated peoples in Afghanistan, and especially the students who provide many facilities in Pakistani, and give them the admissions. And ISI manage them. And it is in the mind of Pakistan to put a government in Afghanistan like a POK, Pakistan Occupied Kashmir governments, which has no say. It is the Pakistani policy, and unfortunate, the whole Afghan nation is suffering due to these policies of Pakistan. They are promoting and projecting the terrorist groups, religious motivated extremist groups, and especially both the region, Afghans and Kashmir, they are suffering due to the terrorist policies of Pakistan. In our areas, the terrorist infrastructure is still intact, and Pakistan used them. And our area, which is known as Azad Kashmir, actually it is not Azad, it is very much occupied by Pakistan, used as launching pad for the terrorist activities on the other part of Kashmir. And interestingly, you people observe how much the Baloch facing. Hundreds and thousands of people are missing in Pakistan, missing by the state, kidnapped by the states, and they have no fair trials. And ultimately, the Taliban governments, it is not only the Taliban government, it is behind the ISI and Pakistani military. They fought with the Taliban under the banner of Taliban and captured whole Afghanistan. Now, it is the Pakistan who actually dictate the policies of the Afghan Taliban. And it is unfortunate, it is the fear of whole regions because the Taliban have no face. They are not responsible people in any constitutional forum or international forum like United Nations or world community. So all the terrorist groups operating in the region is linked with Taliban, and Taliban providing them a base camp in Afghanistan, got training and got all the facilities, and ultimately they launched them in different areas. But the unfortunate side is the world community. United States. When United States invaded in Afghanistan in 2003, 2002. At that time, it was the prime responsibility of the world community to establish the infrastructure. But when Doha negotiations with the Taliban, it is a great mistake by the United States and all those negotiators who undermine the Ashraf Ghani governments and the civil society and the women rights or Afghan situations. And in a hasty, United States withdrew and NATO also, and they did not even feel that 20 years we are living here, and still the infrastructure of Afghans who protect the life, liberty, and the property of the Afghan people should be protected. But now there is mess. There is a gross human rights violation, especially the women have no any rights, even right to get education or go to street. Taliban imposed very strict impositions in the Afghan women and those peoples who actually associates with the human rights organization or liberal ideals. Now they are facing worst kind of persecutions. Now it is the duty, the world community, and especially the influential countries who can put pressure on Pakistan and ask them to put pressure on Afghanistan, because the Taliban is not an independent force. And now the United States also declared that it is Pakistan who provide shelters, harbor them, and finance them. So it is known to all that it is Pakistan who installed Taliban. And Taliban, one thing we should more understand, that it is not one entity. There are many groups under the umbrella of Taliban, in the guise of Taliban. And their credential is promote religious extremism. And although it is debatable whether they are true representative of the religion or they have driven a narrative in the 13th and 12th century. So it is debatable. All the secular Muslims or moderate Muslims did not subscribe the ideology of Taliban. But their regimes, like in Pakistan, the establishment and the Pakistani government, in Saudi Arabia and everywhere, you can find they are always providing all kind of assistance to those who are extremist, radical, and militant, because they don't want that civil society can emerge and independently build a narrative for the democracy, for secularism, for the people, and every kind of discrimination. That's why the rulers, the Muslim rulers, they are not ready to give the democratic rights to their own peoples, but they are always propagating and abusing world community and the other religions. So at this point, when the terrorism and extremism is spreading in the name of Taliban, we should formulate a strategy. World community should formulate a strategy how to combat this and how to stop them for spreading extremism and terrorism. Actually, I tender my apology because I prepared some notes, and unfortunately it is at my residence, and I am in Geneva. So I cannot graduate you in the context of today's title, but I must pay my gratitude to all those who actually before spoke to the conference, their findings, their narratives regarding today's conference is absolutely right, and I endorse and agree with their finding. I thank you very much. Thank you for Jamil Maqsood and the organizers, Sajid Abbasi, and other participants. I thank you very much again.